Hi guys, so I'm training upper body today at Voltage Fitness, so I thought I'd take you along for the ride, do a little training with me video. So my upper body sessions at the moment are mainly focused on bringing up my shoulders and my upper back to create that hourglass shape that I need for bikini, because obviously that's the category I plan on competing again in next year. So I'm just getting ready for my training. Have my pre-training meal, so cream of rice with a bit of whey, easy to digest, carbs and protein, ready to fuel my training session. Obviously, if you know me as well, you know I'm a bit of a caffeine addict, so today's caffeine of choice, I have coffee, sometimes I'll have a Monster, sometimes I'll have a Stim pre-workout. Today my pre-workout wasn't Stim based, so that means it's without caffeine, so I get my caffeine fix from a coffee. Written down what I'm going to train in my trusty logbook. So for me, my sessions are planned and structured in a particular way to work on the areas that I need to bring up and grow. And obviously structuring your sessions is going to allow you to monitor them and progress. So for me, a logbook, I can write down my exercises, I know what I'm doing, how many sets I'm doing, the rep range I'm doing. Takes the guesswork out, so you're not always wasting time or messing around in the gym wondering what to do. And then obviously I can refer back to my previous sessions and try and progress on those. So I've got that ready to go. And then I'm going to be drinking my intra-workout carbs just to help fuel me through my session. Actually, being a natural bodybuilder, in case you didn't know, every natty likes to tell everyone they're a natty. But anyway, carbs to get me through my session, and then I've got my EAAs, glutamine and creatine as well. Plenty of water, always need to stay hydrated. I drank a couple of litres already today, so that's all good. Hydrated, fed, caffeinated, ready to go. So I'm going to take you along for the ride. This is where the magic happens, as you can see on the sign. Before I begin my upper body session, I'm just going to run through reasons why you, especially as a female, should be training your upper body. So obviously it has become really popular in recent times for females to focus on their legs and their glutes, especially with categories such as wellness becoming a lot more popular. Even in my category, bikini, obviously legs and glutes is a very prominent feature. However, it's just as important to train your upper body so you've got a well-balanced physique, and we're creating that nice hourglass. So I want a nice top line to match my. I'm going to be working on my shoulders and my upper back in particular today, but just in general as a female, you're going to be wanting to work on these areas to create the illusion of a smaller waist, but also overall strength. Obviously, having muscle all over your body is going to boost your metabolic rate. It's going to create you a nice, strong, lean-looking physique, and it's also going to improve your other lifts as well. So getting stronger on your accessory movements and on smaller muscle groups is going to help with your big compound lifts like deadlifts and bench, but even on your lower body compounds such as squats. So if you are looking to obviously grow your lower body, your legs and your glutes, working your upper body is going to benefit that as well. So never neglect any of your body parts. Make sure you're nice and balanced from top to bottom. As well, due to our lifestyles every day, a lot of the time we're stuck at a desk, hunched over, driving, just slouched on the sofa. Working your upper body is going to improve your posture, and it's going to prevent injuries as well. Another benefit of training upper body. So make sure you're getting those upper body sessions in as well as your lower body session. Today you're going to see a few of the exercises I do. I'm mainly working on my shoulders and my upper back at the moment. Let's get cracking. Alright guys, so I'm going to start my session. Before every session, I always make sure I'm well warmed up, okay? If you're not warming up, you're increasing your risk for injury, and you're also missing out on gains essentially. Warm-ups are there to get the blood flowing, prime the nervous system, ready for a good session, and obviously activate those muscles, okay? So we want to wake up those muscles, making sure they're ready to go, so you're getting the maximum amount of stimulus from your sets. And yeah, if you're not warming up, start warming up.
So you saw me doing some mobility work with the band, and then I'm going to do a couple of light sets with light dumbbells. So obviously with your warm-ups, you don't want to be gassing yourself out. You don't want to be going too heavy. The whole idea is to get mobilized, get activated, get the blood flowing, ready and primed for your session. So be smart, train smart, get results. Everyone's warm-up's going to be slightly different depending on what they need more work on. People struggle activating a little bit more. So obviously make sure you warm up properly, but don't just cut and paste someone else's warm-up. Find out what works for you. Particularly focus on areas you struggle with activating the most. Focus on those, getting yourself primed and ready. Obviously, if you're a little bit stiffer in some areas, you're going to need to spend a bit more time mobilizing there. That's going to be different for everyone. So make sure you design a warm up that works for you, specific for you. And if you're not sure and need a little bit of help, obviously, good idea to get a coach. So yeah, you can come and join me here, have a session, you know, win-win situation. All right, so obviously I'm training at Voltage today. Usually I train at Ultraflex, so sometimes things feel slightly different in different gyms. I've just done my sort of warm-up feeler set with the 10s, so now I'm gonna go into my second set with the 15s. Let's see how this feels. But yeah, always do your first set as like a feeler set, seeing how strong you feel on that day, and then you can gauge how hard you're going to push it. Obviously try and push yourself as hard as possible in every session, but obviously some days you're going to have a bit more energy and strength than others, so suss it out first to prevent any injuries. So let's go. Going to stick with those for now because I'm quite trap dominant and I want to be focusing on my shoulders rather than my traps taking over, and our bodies like to do things in the way that they find easiest. So if you're most trap dominant like me, for instance, when things start getting heavier, my traps are going to take over rather than my shoulders, and I want to grow my shoulders and not my traps because I want to have nice top line and not be trapzilla. So yeah, I'm going to stick with these for now. Catch you on the next exercise. All right guys, feeling pretty strong so far. So happy days. Next exercise, we're going to be doing Arnold press. So we want, well, I want well capped rounded shoulders. So we're going to hit the shoulders from all angles today. So exercise number 2, Arnold press. Felt good for my first set. Obviously, I'm used to working in front of mirrors. Not so many mirrors here, but sometimes that's a good thing because sometimes we can rely too much on mirrors, but actually without mirrors, it really forces you to focus on what you're doing, that mind-muscle connection. So obviously, there's benefits to training with mirrors and seeing your form, but also not getting distracted by the mirrors and actually focusing on your mind-muscle connection and how your body's feeling. Okay, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty strong today. Obviously, you've only seen me do my warm-up set so far. So this is my top set for my Arnold press. Third and final set. So we're gonna see what we can do. with a little bit heavier. So time to either boost my ego or humble myself. But yeah. Last set, always try and push yourself to failure. Squeeze out what you can, leave nothing on the table, and then move on to the next exercise. So let's go.
Tell me be the best that I can be. There's nothing more that I would ever need. Light together where the sun meets sea.
All right, 10 for 12. I'll take that. Okay, so next exercise is lateral raises. Obviously, I want to target shoulders from all areas, anterior, posterior, and side delts as well, okay? Obviously, shoulders are a smaller muscle group, so you're not going to be able to go as heavy, okay? Always go as heavy as you can with good form, but obviously the connection is much better than trying to just throw around a load of weight and not actually do anything. Okay, so first set, let's get going. So I'm someone that doesn't naturally connect very well to my shoulders, so that's what I've been working hard on doing. So obviously things like this, I don't want to push the weight too high. I want to make sure I'm connecting with my shoulders correctly rather than engaging my traps. Okay, so with things like your standing lateral raises, you want to make sure your core is nice and tight. You don't want to be swinging around with the weights, okay? If you're finding that you're doing that, you can do them chest supported against a bench, but you want to be making sure you're actually doing the reps, your muscles that you're trying to target are doing the reps, and you're not cheating yourself out of the reps. Because ultimately, if you're cheating yourself out of reps, you're only cheating yourself at the end of the day. I've done my anterior and my side delts. Now it's time for my rear delts. So I'm going to be doing some high rows for these, okay? Any sort of rowing movements, you want to be thinking about dragging with the elbow rather than pulling with the arm, okay? So keeping everything in line, making sure you're hitting that upper back and those rear delts, okay? So first set. So always making sure you're getting a nice full stretch, a nice full range of motion, so you're hitting the muscle fibers all the way through. Okay, so that felt okay, but I can feel my rear delts are getting tired now and my traps are trying to take over. So on my last set, I'm gonna do a bit more of a back off set, so go a little bit lighter, just so I'm targeting the right areas. Be smart, think about what you're doing. Don't try and ego lift. If you need to go lighter for better connection, do that, because you're gonna get so much more out of the movement than just trying to throw around a heavy weight, basically. All right, so I've done my shoulder portion of the session now. So I'm gonna move on to back. So we're gonna be starting off with lat pull downs. So obviously building up my lats is gonna help shrink my waist down and give me that hourglass figure. Okay, so first set. Again, we're not gonna go too heavy. We're going to focus on form, okay? Key thing with the lat pull down is making sure your shoulders are retracted, okay? So core nice and tight. Before you begin, retract your shoulders, make sure everything's engaged, and again, think about dragging down with the elbows. So lat movements, think about squeezing underneath the armpits, dragging down with the elbows. And that's how you're going to engage your lats. Okay, so at this point, my mic switched off. I think I whacked it when I was doing the lat pull downs. So my videos ended up going mute for a little bit. But basically, I'm just talking about lat engagement and how with all pulling movements, you should be dragging with the elbows. My next exercise is a seated cable row, so I'm just talking about the different attachments you can use to get a full range of motion. And obviously when you're doing these movements, keeping your core nice and tight as you're sitting without any sort of support from a machine. So you need to use your own core strength to stabilize for the movement, and just talking about how important it is to get a full range of motion, be nice and controlled and stable throughout the movement. But yeah, a little bit of technical difficulties, but I managed to semi-resolve it later on in the video by simply just forgetting to turn my microphone on at all. So at least there's a bit of sound later on. But yeah, this is why there's a voiceover for now.
Okay guys, I've got 2 more exercises left, 6 sets in total. Next one's going to be base pulls, so targeting upper back and move down to it again. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this on the cable. So for these, stare at the cable about eye line or just above.
Okay, so despite checking my mic again here, the mic remained on mute, but basically this is my last exercise, which is lat pullovers. So here we go. Alright guys, so that was my upper body session. Hopefully you learned a few things. A couple of technical difficulties with the sound, hence the voiceover. Obviously I think I hit the mic when I was doing my lat pull downs, but it just goes to show that I was doing them with full range of motion, which is a good thing. Hopefully you understand now why it's important to train both your upper and your lower body, even as a female. Do a bit of posing now. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you on the next one.